iPhone 14 Pro Max hands-on, in a league of its own. The new iPhone 14 Pro Max looks like a leap forward with its new 48MP camera, always on display and very clever replacement for the notch. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is a beast of a phone, and I'm not just saying that because of its larger lenses. This big screen flagship packs a new 48MP camera, an always-on display and a new A16 Bionic processor that should once again lap the Android competition. But during my iPhone 14 Pro Max hands-on time, I was most intrigued by the new Dynamic Island feature, Apple's replacement for the notch. This pill-shaped cutout morphs depending on what you're doing, showing everything from music playing in the background to countdown timers. I got a chance to spend a bit of time with the iPhone 14 Pro Max at the September Apple event, and I came away impressed with its new cameras as well, especially its low light capabilities and new action mode for video. The iPhone 14 Pro Max looks different than iPhone models released since 2017 because it ditches the notch in favor of a new Dynamic Island. This pill-shaped cutout takes up less room and delivers alerts, notifications and activities. For example, when I started playing a song in Apple Music and then went back to the home screen, I saw a little play window with album art and the track info. If you long press on the Dynamic Island, you'll get a pop-up with more info. If you then start a timer, you'll see it added to the Dynamic Island on the right side, so you get a bunch of info in a small space. Even better, Apple is working with developers to take advantage of these features so you could see sports scores in real time or the status of your Lyft ride. Otherwise, the iPhone 14 Pro Max design is largely the same, though there's one big exception. There's no longer a SIM card tray, as Apple is instead focusing on eSIMs for carrier provisioning. Some will not like this feature being killed, and I'm among them. Around back, the iPhone 14 Pro Max features larger sensors in the camera bump. The overall design is slightly thicker and heavier at 8.47 ounces, 6.33 x 3.05 x 0.31 inches versus 8.46 ounces, 6.33 x 3.07 x 0.3 inches for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. You have 4 color options for the iPhone 14 Pro Max: deep purple, silver, gold, and space black. I'm partial to the deep purple as it pops the most. I'm not joking when I say the iPhone 14 Pro Max has the best display on any phone I've seen so far. And this 6.7-inch panel is super bright, with a rated brightness of 1600 nits. Outdoors, the Pro Max is rated up to a whopping 2000 nits. Up close, I really appreciated the rich colors and detail as I watched a recorded video in the new action mode. It's like having a mini movie theater in your pocket. It gets better. The iPhone 14 Pro Max has an always-on display that shows your widgets and notifications in a low power state, but still in color. This is much better than anything Android phones have tried. And because the display scales down to 1 Hz, it should use very little power.